Mark Hanson is the British Heart Foundation Professor and Director of the Institute of Developmental Sciences at the University of Southampton. You recently produced a paper on optimal fetal growth. How would you describe that paper?
I would describe it as an opinion piece, a viewpoint, resulting from a collaboration across a range of disciplines, which raises the question of whether the concept of optimal fetal growth is actually a misconception.
And how did you go about producing the paper?
We organised a workshop, Dr Schneider, who's an economic historian, and myself at the University of Sussex at the end of 2014, which brought together historians, sociologists and clinicians from a range of disciplines, really to explore the question of how we might best measure fetal growth with a view to fetal growth predisposing to later risk of disease. We started from the question of, was birth weight a sufficiently meaningful measure of fetal growth and development, and came to the opinion very much that it wasn't, which led us to the question of whether fetal growth itself could be measured as a trajectory, and if so, whether one could set limits on it and establish whether a particular pattern was normal or abnormal.
And what impact do you hope this work will have?
I hope that it will really raise awareness of the complex processes that interact to lead to the birth of a normal, healthy fetus, a dialogue, if you like, between the mother and the developing fetus, which takes into consideration a wide range of factors, whether they're ethnic, social, cultural, nutrition, levels of exercise, mother and indeed father's body composition, and whether they're exposed to toxins, whether they smoke, a whole range of influences which we know operate in many, many pregnancies across the world, and how these things relate to the pattern of fetal growth. These are issues that not just doctors, but wider members of society also need to consider.
And the significance of your approach?
I think the significance is that by bringing together an interdisciplinary team, we're really able to take a view of the processes that operate in fetal growth from a wider perspective, in the round, if you like. And this is going to be extremely important for societies, for public health officials, and indeed for families and doctors in deciding whether or not we believe that there should be an optimal standard for fetal growth, and if so, who's going to decide what it is, and what do we do if a particular fetus isn't following that optimal pattern.
Thank you very much.